So welcome to another Chris show. Make sure you're subscribed and turn on the notification bell so you can like the video and participate in the comment section. If you haven't seen my last video about Rayshard Brooks, it was released on Saturday. He was the young black man that was shot in the back from the Wendy's by the police officer. Last time when I released a video, the officer had just been fired, but we have some more updates as we get to this Wednesday. So the police officer who shot and killed Rayshard Brooks, Garrett Rolfe, has been charged with felony murder and aggravated assault. He has up to 11 charges, and if he's convicted of all of them, he faces the death penalty. The Fulton County DA says Rayshard Brooks never presented himself as a threat to police. He says evidence shows Rolfe kicked Brooks as he laid on the ground after he shot him. Other officer Brosnan stood on his shoulder. They never told Brooks he was under arrest, and they didn't even call for medical attention for over 2 minutes. Now, does that sound like someone that was just trying to protect the people and they were trying to maintain things, or was this cop had his own agenda and he was doing something? Because if a normal person shoots someone in the back like me or you, we are getting a book thrown at us. But apparently people think just because you're a cop, you're eligible to do that, even if a person has a taser, which isn't a lethal weapon. Let's just be on the record for that. And the cop had already fired the taser 2 times, so Rayshard Brooks couldn't even have fired it at the officers. He knew that, but he didn't care because he wanted to get his revenge or one up him. And then after he shot him, he says to his boy, "I got him." So you just know with that mentality, he was trying to one up him, because if they were trying to de-escalate the situation, it shows in the video that Rayshard Brooks was cooperating with them for over 41 minutes and was not a problem with them. They could have gone about it a number of ways, but any of those ways should not have resulted with a death, and especially with one in the back, because how is he a threat to you if he's running away? How are you in danger of your life if he's running away? I would love to hear that. And the fact that Rolfe kicked him after he shot him and he was laying on the ground, can you really defend that? That's someone that's protecting people and cares about people? Come on, man. The other cop, Devin Brosnan, who is opposite of him, he's actually testifying against Rolfe, and because of that, some of us feel like he might get lighter sentences or lighter charges, but I commend him for doing that. Cops need to start standing up. This boys will be boys, and you got to stick up for cops all the time, every time. That's not cool, and that's what we not need, and that's how we will not grow as a country. There's a lot of people that are upset that this cop is charged, but at the end of the day, how can you justify shooting someone in the back, then kicking them afterwards and not calling for medical attention for 2 minutes? If you could still defend that, you are part of the problem. You are not part of the solution. And as I said in the previous video, I am not defending Rayshard Brooks and acting like he was completely innocent. Yes, he was in the wrong, but should he have lost his life for all of that? And the answer is definitely no. And you may disagree with me, but the DA of Fulton County doesn't disagree with me, so it is what it is. Also, you know, if cops things, being charged is one thing, being convicted is another. We'll see if that transpires or what goes on. I'll definitely give you guys update as that happens. The DA is recommending a $50,000 bond for Brosnan, and he is denying bond for Rolfe. Both men have until Thursday to surrender. So yeah, I wanted to give you guys an update about the Rayshard Brooks situation, and it's definitely taken a turn. I did not think he was going to be charged for 11 things. I'm happy he is, because like I said, shooting someone in the back, you can't tell me someone's a threat and they're running away from me. I just do not want to hear it. They didn't call medical attention for 2 whole minutes. That's someone that's protecting us. That's someone that does their job right. Yeah, okay. And then both of the officers, one kicked them, one laid their foot on the shoulder as this man was bleeding out. That's inhumane. That's not right. That's not what protecting people, and that's not what officers are about. And that's why police need to be reformed. It needs to be reformed from the ground up. If you aren't speaking on the cops that are doing bad, you are just as bad as the cops that are doing it. And that's why we are where we are, because the boys will be boys. They don't speak out on them, because if you did speak out against them, you would be retaliated against or potentially lose your job. I hope that's over in this day and age and cops actually start standing up for what's right, because killing someone in that situation was just not justified to me. I'm sorry. Taser is not a lethal weapon. Quit acting like it is. Quit acting like cops are judge and executioners. They are not. And that's why now cops are finally being held accountable, and I'm happy for that. Well, they're being held accountable as far as charges. We'll see about the convictions again, but yes, I just wanted to give you guys an update about that. And also the other thing that's been really talked about today, that Aunt Jemima is no longer the logo or associated with Quakers. If you guys, a normal person is like, why are they doing that? Isn't she just a normal black lady? But no, there's a lot more that goes into it. You should do your research. The Aunt Jemima brand, which was, instead of me summarizing it, I'm just going to read it off to you guys real quick. The Aunt Jemima brand, founded in 1889, was built on images of a black female character that promoted a false nostalgic view of slavery in the United States. A former slave portrayed the character at the 1893's World's Fair in Chicago, and a white actress known for performing in blackface played Aunt Jemima on a radio series in the 1930s. So that's all you really need to know. They made Aunt Jemima. It was mocking of Slavery Day. So also the creator of Uncle Ben's has decided they're gonna revamp themselves and change it going forward, because aunties and uncles, that ties into what they called black people in the slavery days, and that's why a lot of people felt it was mockery of it. And like they said, the woman it was based on was a woman that was born in slavery. So when you add all of that up, a woman played blackface of it in the 1930s. There's no reason. It should have been retired in 1968 when they did the civil rights, but at least it's no longer on going forward. I feel that's a great move. That's a great step. We got to start getting all these underlying racist things out of America. That's a start. It's a good thing. I'm not going to give them a pat on the back, act like they're the greatest thing since sliced bread, because this is many years overdue. But hey, it's a start. Like I said, cops are starting to be held accountable for now, at least with charges and being fired. We'll see in the court of law, will they actually be convicted? When that starts happening, maybe we'll start seeing some more reforms. Trump signed this police reform. Is it really going to change anything? We'll see. Lastly, before I end everything, all I'm trying to say is this police reform is something that needs to be from the ground up. Reforming the police is something that's going to take years to do. It's going to take a lot of cops being fired, because a lot of people do not want to change in their ways, and a lot of people want things to stay the same. They don't like change, and they like having that power. But now cops are going to start being held accountable going forward, we hope, especially when they're taking away black lives unnecessarily. And like I said, I'm not defending every situation. I'm not saying every black person's innocent, but you do not need to lose your life in certain situations, especially like how Eric Garner lost his life, how George Floyd lost his life. You know, there's just so many examples of these situations, and you continue to ignore them, you are part of the problem. And that's all I'm gonna say. So as you know, I'm posting videos whenever updates come. Today was a really busy news day. Like I said, you need to be subscribed, turn on the notification bell, so as soon as I drop this video, you can like and participate in the comment section. Share this video with your friends if you enjoyed it. This Chris, I'm out this motherfucker.